oh, we're doing a podcast. I forgot.
Right. I love how this season we also featured people in pairs.
If there was a sentence for what season 5 did for everybody, it was definitely like community.
You're not just invited to the table, but we want you to be leading the conversation.
That's what my hope is. That's what, just not just community, but family, but rallying together and being one voice. Well, hi, guys. This is Mik.
No, we can't start like that. This is Mik. Well, welcome back and to our final episode of season 5. We're so excited to kind of wrap up this season and celebrate everything that we loved about it. Yvonne and I had the honor of interviewing so many amazing people for this season. So thank you so much for sticking with us the whole season, right?
Absolutely. We shouldn't have a favorite season, but I think season 5 definitely was my favorite. Mm-hmm. It really showed the essence of survivor voices of overcomers. So,
yeah. And that's what we both kind of came together for this season, and we talked about a vision. And there was just this reoccurring theme of how often do we hear survivor stories, like something that happened to them. And we've said this in the season over and over, something that happened to them a decade ago, 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago. And we just want to hear their voice now. What are they doing now? What's bringing them joy and hope in the future? And I love how this season we also featured people in pairs. So we featured, a father and daughter together. We featured lots of people that were old friends kind of reconnecting. And that was really neat to see in real time, but was probably one of my favorite parts was seeing people meet for the first time on set or in the studio at the Just Conference and recording together. And they left like really good friends, And so you saw that happen in your episodes as well, right?
Even for myself, not really knowing somebody and then leaving like I've known them my whole life. And so that was probably my favorite thing. And it wasn't just me, but I know you've experienced that as well. And so I would say if there was a word maybe or a sentence for what season 5 did for everybody, it was definitely like community, but it wasn't just community, it was family. And that is important to really highlight on that. Family is really huge for me. Family was not great growing up, but family now and the connectedness, just the love. It was just so raw, real, and hopeful, honestly. So.
Yeah. And everyone brought their own kind of flavor to each episode, like some people were like silly and playing off of each other and others were encouraging one another. And I really, really hope that they left that room feeling connected and they continue that connection beyond just the podcast.
And the gratitude.
Yeah.
It just kept pouring the gratitude, not just for each other, but for where they were now, who they are now, who the person sitting next to them, just by what they said, even though they might have not known them or they've known of them, and just the gratitude. And it just kept getting more and more. And so that really blessed my heart as well. So, yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. And then, so I have a question for you. What surprised you about this season? Kind of beyond the family connection. What surprised you most?
Honestly, asking questions to survivors of who they are today. And there was this autopilot of who they were and where they came from. And that's not what we were doing for season 5. And so really trying to get them out of that cycle, I guess, or maybe it was autopilot. You hit record and it's like, oh, this is where I come from. This is who I am. But that's not what we were doing for season 5. And so over and over getting who they are now, humanizing that, putting a face to a person of hope, of love, of restoration. It was hard at first, but by the end of it, even people left over and over and over. They left just humbled and uplifted, encouraged. It was really good. And that, honestly, it surprised me.
Yeah. I think what surprised me is just how much I learned in the moment of filming. So, you know, when you're in the moment of filming a podcast, sometimes you feel like, okay, I need to stay in the zone. I need to hit all these questions and all these marks. But sometimes I'd find myself drifting off and just learning in the moment. I know we've talked about that in previous seasons, but this season just felt different because you're in person, you're in the room with them. And as they're talking, you're like, tell me more. Like, I want more of this conversation, learning some new terms of how to refer to things as well. Because for someone who's not a survivor, I think I always encourage people to listen to the podcast. Yes, I always say, take our trainings. They're wonderful because they are. But I'm like, and listen to the podcast because that's where you're going to learn a ton, is just from lived experience experts, survivor leaders, overcomers in the field, because that's who I learn the most from. So I think that's what surprised me. I always know I learn the most from survivors, but I loved being in the moment with them. Yeah.
And from all different walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
We had so many different personalities.
Different seasons of life. Yeah.
That too. Yeah. So that was so rewarding, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So how many times did you often find yourself sitting in a room with somebody that you just met and you're like, you're not even doing a podcast at that point. You're just meeting for coffee or something, or you're sitting in a living room and just conversating.
Oh, yeah.
It was over and over. It's like, oh, we're doing a podcast. I forgot.
Right. I just wanted to sit and laugh with them and catch up, you know, and I'm like, what are you doing after this? You want to go grab lunch? You know, like I wanted to keep it going. I was really appreciative of that they like almost, I felt like I was being featured on their podcast and they were just letting me in to a glimpse, you know, even if they met for the first time. Yeah, it was wonderful. I hope it translated, you know, because you and I, this has been our dream to kind of bring this concept to life. So
absolutely. I want to thank everybody that was featured. If you're watching this, thank you for blessing my heart. This is a season that it got reshared and refeatured and re-spoke about, and word poems and all kinds of different things. And so we see and we hear that people enjoyed it, and that blessed my heart as well. So.
Yeah, same. That's my hope, is that this season in particular reaches beyond just the audience of Shared Hope, like just people who kind of follow along with Shared Hope International. I want it to go beyond that. I want it to go to people that have no idea what trafficking is or what it looks like, to truly understand how it's impacted people for decades in our country. But then what are we doing about it? You know, like what are survivor leaders doing about it now, and the impact they're having by giving back, whether it's in the field or not in the field, you know? I think I just loved hearing their voices, and I'm like, I really hope just tons of people can hear this, you know, not just our bubble, but like the big bubble. Yes. Yeah.
Well, we had a special guest star also.
Oh, that's right. The honorable mention, Blue. We loved Blue.
Yes.
He was such a sweetheart. Thank you so much, Marianne, for bringing him on and helping to regulate all the emotions in the room. It was our first dog on the podcast. So we loved having him. Yeah. So in the future, we're very open to having pets and service animals on the podcast, please.
Emotional support animals and emotional support humans. We had a couple of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it was like they weren't even in the room. And they just added to it. So it was good.
Yeah, because that's the reality of it, right? That we all, you know, walk around and we need support sometimes. So to bring that in the room, I loved it. I love that part. I did want to ask, what's your hope? What's our hope in the future for survivor voices, for lived experience voices to be amplified? What does that look like, you think?
Well, I know that our goal is to put us out of business. There'll be no more trafficking.
Absolutely.
What I would love to see is an army of survivors raised up, and we're overcomers. We don't want to go victim, survivor. We are overcomers.
Right.
I don't know what season 6 looks like. We've had a lot of great ideas, but nothing's really landed solid yet. I'm not scared because God is good. And so But amplifying survivor voices to stop the unjust criminalization of domestic minor sex trafficking or juvenile trafficking, period. Again, we are trying to put ourselves out of business by doing what we do, by speaking, by raising our voice, by, champion the next one and even reaching back and helping the next one up. And so that's what my hope is. That's what, just not just community, but family, but rallying together and being one voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And for me, and it's something that I mentioned in one of my episodes in particular, when we talked about what does it mean, to say like, I'm giving you a voice versus I'm amplifying your voice. Yep. And that's what I always want to switch that language to in what we're doing, is that we want to amplify voices. We want to make sure that they're not only being told they have a voice or someone, feels like they don't have one, reaffirming you've always had a voice. We just want to help you amplify it. We want to take it to that next level and make sure, like we always say, like, you're not just invited to the table, but we want you to be leading the conversation. Yes. So we have to keep going with that. So for season 6, same. I'm like, I don't know what it's going to hold. All I know is that we just want to keep talking. We have to keep talking and featuring these voices louder than ever to make a difference in what's happening in our country and our culture to shift it. So, So we thank you all. Thank you, Yvonne. I've really appreciated doing this with you. Yvonne's amazing. I think maybe that's something, I don't want to say it surprised me, but it made my heart happy this season, is seeing you just like blossom even more. You're just owning this as Shared Hope and being such an amazing leader and coordinator. What's the other word for it, right? Just like someone that's like making those connections, and making people, you said people felt like family. You're a big piece of that. You bringing the family together, and making sure the family sticks together. So you're amazing. And I've loved working with you on this season.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then here's to next season. So, stick around, keep following us here at Shared Hope International. We can't wait to see what the future holds for season 6. So we'll see you then.
So like, comment, subscribe.
All of it.
Share.
Follow us, share it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next season.
Thank you for listening to Shared Hope International's Invading the Darkness podcast. You can continue to listen and watch our podcast on all streaming platforms. To learn more about what Shared Hope International is doing and take action to end child sex trafficking, please visit us at sharedhope.org.